Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here, and I'm finally back. Yeah, I haven't made a video for like the last 3 weeks now. Yeah, it's just that the reason that I really haven't made a video for the last 3 weeks is just because, as of late, it's just been kind of a hectic time here. We've been having like a lot of work being done on the house. Well, yeah, because I told you guys before how we were having the water piping changes, especially like here in my room because and stuff. And yeah, and as of late, we've been having some more stuff being done around here in the house. Like a couple of weeks ago, we were like having like the tile removed because it had like it just like had to be like changed out. So yeah, we like had the tile removed from the house, and we had to actually like be out of the house for a few days to do that. So I was spending a few like a couple of weeks ago, I was spending some time over my dad's apartment for that time, and so yeah, and it's just been like a pretty hectic time as of late because we've just been like getting some more stuff done around here. Like we've been doing like quite a lot of work in the kitchen as of late, and just like clearing out some rooms and stuff. So yeah, it's just been like a pretty hectic time, and just been doing like a lot of housework and stuff. So yeah, it's just been like kind of a really hectic time around here. So yeah, that's just like really why I really have like kind of been I haven't made a video for the last 2 weeks, just because like I've been like sidetracked with a lot of like housework and stuff. So yeah, but I am finally back with another video. Yeah, and so for this video, this is just gonna in here. I'm just going to be giving my thoughts on Toy Story 4 because yeah, I finally just saw the movie today. I know it's been out for a few weeks now, but yeah, I just haven't gotten around to actually going to see the movie until just today. So, yeah, but yeah, I am finally going to be giving my thoughts on the movie now. Yeah, so this is, of course, going to contain spoilers. I'm sure just a lot of people have seen the movie by now, but yeah, in case you haven't seen the movie yet, you may not want to watch this until you have, or yeah, if you don't mind spoilers, you can continue watching it, alright? So, yeah, like I have said before, like when this was announced, I was just kind of like feeling that it was like really pointless to really do another Toy Story movie because after how the third film ended, it really seemed to like be just the proper bookend for the Toy Story movie. So yeah, like I said, when I heard about this movie being made, I just was kind of like feeling, is it really necessary? Stuff like I was like curious to see the movie and I wanted to see it, but at the same time I just felt like what is even the point of even doing it? It's just useless to do. Yeah. Yeah, and I did like make that video giving my thoughts on the trailer for the movie when it was released. So yeah, and it did look interesting. And so yeah, of course like I did still want to see the movie. I do love Toy Story, so yeah, of course like I wasn't really gonna pass by seeing this movie. And I finally did see it today. And yeah, I got it once again. Pixar really did nail it. Now this really does seem to be like just the definitive Pixar franchise and just the definitive animated film franchise. I don't know if there really is just a film series that has really been as perfect as Toy Story has. Because yeah, there's now been 4 films and they've all been just like absolute masterpieces, and yeah, this one just was no exception. This was once again just a really, really great film. Yeah, I really just yeah, I just really didn't have any doubts that this was still going to be a great film. I just really just like felt that it was pointless, and overall, while this story really just didn't really seem to have a really huge point to it, I didn't really think that anybody was really begging or asking for this type of story to be done in a Toy Story film. But yeah, Pixar did like like go all out on this story, and yeah, it really did do really good. And so yeah, plus in this movie, it was interesting how as the story for this film, um uh, Pixar did like use like elements that we had seen before in the previous Toy Story films, but they also like did like take like an interesting twist on the elements to kind of like change them up, so they it wasn't like really being like too overly familiar with it. And so, yeah, and plus, yeah, this film also did have some pretty good comedy, also with like some new characters that were introduced in this film. Yeah, so in this film, just about like everybody from the first three films returned. You did have Tom Hanks as Woody, Tim Allen as Buzz. You did have there was Joan Cusack as Jesse, Wallace Shawn as Rex, John Ratzenberg as Ham. You had Blake Clark reprising his role from Toy Story 3 as Slinky, you taking over for Jim Varney. You had Estelle Harris as Mrs. Potato Head, and yeah, you also did, of course, have Bonnie's toys from Toy Story 3 back in this film as well. Like you did have like Dolly and Trixie and Buttercup, and yeah, basically like all of Bonnie's toys from the third movie in this film as well. Though in this film, really just Woody and Buzz really do seem to be like the only main reprising toys in the film that really do like seem to act as really main characters of the film. Well, particularly Woody. Like Buzz really doesn't have as big of a role in this film as Woody does, but yeah, all the other like recurring toys like Jesse and Bullseye and Rex and Ham and stuff, they really just seem to be like really just kind of like just some supporting side characters in this. Like they really don't seem to be just like like main supporting characters like they do in the other three films. Like the roles for all the other toys in this film really do seem to be like very limited, and they really don't really have like as big of roles in this. Like they just really seem to be more as like just side characters for the film that really are not like part of the main story. Yeah. Although, yeah, also of course, like in this film, we do have the return of Bo. Like as it was said in the third movie, like Bo was like just Andy didn't own Bo anymore, or she was gone. And here, like she does make a return, but though, yeah, she does look like really different than she did in the first two films. I already talked about that before, how she does look different. So yeah, I did like find it kind of odd that she looks so different and the other toys seem to look the same. I don't know if like they just wanted to really update it, since like they do have like better animation now. They could make Bo look like kind of more how I guess they wanted her to look. So yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not really a huge deal that she looks different. Yeah. Yeah. And so in this film, like it's like Woody and Bo like reuniting and stuff, and then like with the predicament that Woody is in this film, like Bo like tries to help Woody with his situation and stuff, and then yeah, of course, like through the film, like they do like reconnect with each other, and then it like leads to what happens at the end of this film, which I will talk about later on. Yeah, but yeah, this was like overall a really really great film. I mean, I really did love it. I mean, yeah, it did like do like some interesting things. Like in this film, like what I thought was like really creative was that in this film, like Mr. Potato Head's in it, and of course, like they did something interesting with his voice. Like, of course, Mr. Potato Head was like voiced by Don Rickles before, and of course, like just and then just like a couple of years ago, Don Rickles had died. But yeah, what they did here was pretty interesting. Like rather than actually like recasting the voice for Mr. Potato Head like they did with Slinky, what they did is they just used like some archival recordings from Don Rickles for the voice of Mr. Potato Head in this film, which was an interesting thing for them to do. So and I really did think that that was like interesting for them to like keep like Don Rickles' voice in, though, and instead of actually like casting a different actor for it. Yeah. Yeah, and in this film, it does like introduce some new characters in it as well. Like in this film, like you do have like new characters, like this new toy that Bonnie like made in her orientation and for kindergarten, and out of a sport that she named Forky, and then like over time it does like like he goes through a development at first, like, because like all his parts came out of the trash, he just really just wants to go back in the garbage. And it's funny how I guess this film starts, he just like keeps trying to get back into the garbage and even tries to like escape from Bonnie as she's not looking. And yeah, and then yeah, it's like Woody's like trying to has to be he has to pretty much babysit Forky to make sure that he doesn't go into the garbage. Regia, and then over time, like through some convincing from Woody, it then like convinces Forky that Bonnie uh, needs him, and then like a Forky then agrees. Well, then he's convinced to really like be with Bonnie and be her toy. Yeah, yeah. And in this film, like it does like it doesn't really like have like a really like an actual villain in this film, unlike the other three films. It like when we first like see who appears to be the villain at first, like she does appear to kind of like be the same way like Sid and Prospector and Lotso were, but then like throughout, but then like by the end of this film, it does show that she's really not really like an evil toy or anything. It's just that she is it's just that she just is really obsessed with doing what she is trying to go after Woody and stuff for. So yeah, it's really like not. It's not like she's like really like a true antagonist of the film. It's just like it's through a misunderstanding. So yeah, yeah. And then yeah, we also do like have these like two who new toys like Bunny and Ducky, who are like these plush toys that are like sewn together, and yeah, they just like are always like I guess they're like the comic relief of this movie because they're just like always like talking and yelling and just yeah being really goofy throughout the film. So yeah, I guess they're like the comic relief from here. But uh, yeah, overall, like I do think that all the characters in the film are like still pretty good, and I do think that the story is overall really good. I think that of the four Toy Story films, I think this is probably the quote unquote worst film of the series, but it's still like a real great film. Like I would recommend it. So yeah, I do think it is pretty good overall. So yeah, well, I guess I'll just go over the story a little bit for the film. So yeah, so the way this film opens up, it actually is pretty interesting. Like the third film said, like Bo is now Bo and that film is now gone, and then you didn't own her anymore. And this film actually opens up by showing how Bo actually did like was got was away from the other toys. Yeah, the film opens up with like RC like being swept in a storm drain, and Woody and the other toys save him. But then like Bo and her sheep ended up being given away by Molly, and then like Woody tried to convince Bo to stay, but Bo assures him that part of a toy is being taken away, and then yeah, then she eventually like convinced Woody to let her go. Oh, and then they bid a farewell to each other. Yeah, and then the film then cut to 2 years after Andy ended up giving his toys to Bonnie, and yeah, it also had "You Got a Friend in Me" back. Yeah, you had Randy Newman back for the songs in this film. So yeah, I guess it was good to still have Randy Newman back for all the songs in this film. So like, that was good, yeah. Yeah, and it shows that now Woody and the other toys are happy in her with their new life, and but it also shows that Bonnie really isn't like choosing Woody to play with very much. When she's playing with the other toys, like yeah, and then Bonnie is like was then like really nervous about starting kindergarten, and as her parents like took her to some orientation, she was like really nervous there, and as she was like starting to almost cry after a classmate was discarding her arts and craft supplies, then Woody then ended up like recovering some of the materials from the garbage, which included a spork in front of where Bonnie was sitting, and then Bonnie then used all the so materials to then just make a handmade toy that she called Forky. And then then when Bonnie came home, then Forky then like ended up coming to life in Bonnie's backpack, and then like I said, like Forky was just like really up, like obsessed with really just going back in the trash, and he just like kept trying to just go back into the trash, and Woody just had to keep on stopping him from going in the trash. And then it just showed now that Forky was now a Bonnie's favorite toy. Well, and so then, Woody then just had to really just make Forky stay to help Bonnie get through kindergarten. Yeah. And then as Bonnie and her parents went on a road trip, if Forky eventually ended up jumping out of the window. Yeah, all the toys. Like him. Yeah, Bonnie brought along like all her toys with her on this road trip, and Forky ended up like jumping out of the window, and then Woody then jumped out to follow him, and then like Woody then, as I said, he convinced uh Forky to be Bonnie's toy after like he told the uh Forky that he makes Bonnie feel the way that trash makes him feel. And then as they were then starting to head back to the RV park where Bonnie and her parents were, Woody then like saw a Bose lamp in an antique store just like right beside from the RV park, and Woody then like went inside to try to find Bo, and then Woody and Forky ended up coming across a doll named Gabby Gabby with her uh psycho ventriloquist dummies. And these like dummies, they did actually kind of like. I felt that they resembled Slappy from Goosebumps because they just looked like pretty similar. I don't know if like they were actually inspired by Slappy or something, but I could like see a huge resemblance in those dummies. And then like Gabby then was like starting to take Woody and Forky to Bo, but then she was then like talking to Woody how that her voice box doesn't work, and then once she learned that Woody had one, she was like starting to it was like being revealed that Gabby actually was planning to actually steal Woody's voice box because Gabby's voice box was broken. Like no child would actually take her, and then like Woody tried to then escape from Forky, but they ended up being separated, and uh, Forky ended up being captured by Gabby, but Woody was able to escape. And then once Woody like got to a playground, he then eventually ended up coming across Bo and her sheep, Billy, Goat, and Gruff. And then they were of course like happy to see each other. And then Bo was just telling Woody that she is now living the lifestyle of a lost toy, but she then agreed to help Woody actually save Forky and get them back to Bonnie. And then then like Buzz then eventually then went out and tried to search for Woody on his own because, and like earlier on, Woody was just talking to Buzz about you listening to his inner voice, and then Buzz then just like was listening to what he believed was his own inner voices whenever he would like push his buttons, how there would be like the voice activation stuff, like the phrases in his voice box used, and you just like would listen to the phrases, and just he would pretty much say that was his inner voice. So Buzz was out looking for Woody, and like Buzz then was then just like found by a worker at the nearby carnival, and then Buzz then was just like put up in a fairground as a carnival prize. And then there were those two plush toys, Ducky and Bunny. Honey that were kind of like jealous of Buzz coming along, just try to stop them from actually getting their own owner. And then Buzz then eventually ended up escaping with Ducky and Bunny, Honey, and then they eventually ended up meeting up with Woody and Bo, and then it showed that Bo also had like a small little pocket toy cop, a Giggle McDimples, and it also showed that she now had another friend who's like a Canadian stuntman, and toy Duke Kaboom. And then and then all of them together then went back into the antique store to try to save Forky, but failed. And well, Woody then was then just trying to actually convince hint everybody to try to rescue Forky along with both sheep that ended up being captured, but Bo and everybody else just wasn't willing to risk any others' lives. And then uh, after Woody indirectly insulted Bo, saying that he doesn't expect a lost toy to understand the situation, Bo ended up leaving with the others. And then eventually then Woody ended up encountering Gabby again, and then she then was just explaining to Woody that she just thus has a longing to really belong to the owner of the store's granddaughter, Harmony. And then she was just saying that she really just wants to really be loved the same way Woody was loved by Andy and is by Bonnie now. And so then eventually then Woody then and decided to give his voice box over to Gabby in exchange for Forky. And then showed then Woody's voice box was then transferred over to Gabby, and yeah, now it worked. And then and Woody and Forky then snuck into Bonnie's backpack, which Bonnie actually left at that store when she visited with her mom earlier in the film. And then as Bonnie then retrieved it then just showed Harmony had actually found Gabby, but ended up rejecting her, and so then and Woody then just stayed back with Gabby and just gave Forky instructions on how to stall to give Woody enough time to get there. And then Woody just gave Forky a message to give to Buzz to meet them at the carousel at the carnival. And then then Woody then just invited Gabby to come with them as one of Bonnie's toys. And Bo and the others then returned back to help Woody and Gabby after Bo remembering how much of a loyal toy Woody is. And then they all then headed for the carnival, and Trixie then was impersonating the GPS on the RV to get Bonnie's dad to just drive up to the carnival to give them enough time to help them get Woody. And then that was funny how they eventually just ended up pulling on the gas and having just the RV speed. And then then they ended up being chased by police, and Bonnie's dad tried to stop the RV, but he couldn't. And then and eventually then Gabby then as they were heading to the RV, then Bonnie then ended up then well not Bonnie, Gabby then just saw a crying girl who was lost at the carnival, and then Gabby then just decided that she wanted to become that girl's toy, and so then and the girl then found Gabby and then just took responsibility for her, and then eventually found her family with the help of some police. And eventually they arrived at the carousel, and then as Woody was preparing to go back into the RV with everybody, then Woody and both of them was sharing a bittersweet goodbye. And then then Buzz and the other toys then just saw how torn Woody felt, and then Buzz was just telling Woody that she would be okay. At first, of course, it seemed that Buzz was talking about Bo at first, but then he just then said Bonnie would be okay without him. And so then, yeah, Woody then decided to stay with Bo, and then Woody embraced all the toys, said his goodbyes, and Woody also gave Jesse his sheriff badge. And so then, yeah, they all said goodbye to Woody, and then, yeah, the RV then departed, and like all the toys left with Bonnie, and then it just showed Woody staying back with Bo. So yeah, now Woody has gone from Buzz and everybody else. So yeah, I found that to be like a little bit of a choke up moment. Well, yeah, I was feeling like a little choked up when I saw that moment. I just found that to be like kind of like real. Oh, I just didn't know what to say because just all these years of just seeing Woody along with all the toys, and now he's leaving. I'm just, oh man, I didn't know what. I just really was just so shocked to see that. Yeah. And so then, yeah, then it just ended with like Buzz looking back at Woody and Bo. Oh, and Woody and Bo looking at the RV driving off, and it just showed Buzz saying to infinity and Woody saying and beyond. And then that's how the movie ended. So, yeah, just a real shocking moment just to see Woody like now be leave the other toys like that. Wow, just yeah. I mean, it wasn't really on par with like the end of Toy Story 3 when Andy gave all the toys away, but yeah, this was still like a real shocking moment. So yeah, I was just stunned to see that. Yeah, so yeah, and it appears now that this is the way the Toy Story series will be ending. I mean, but who knows? I mean, this film wasn't even originally planned to even happen, so who knows? Maybe like in like years to come, they will decide to make a Toy Story 5. So, yeah, who knows? Like it probably isn't very likely that could happen, but yeah, like I just said, I mean, this film wasn't even supposed to be made, so it could happen. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if Pixar does decide to make a Toy Story 5. Yeah, but either way, yeah, this was still like a really great movie. Once again, like the Toy Story films just do not disappoint. So yeah, I do say hey, this film is definitely worth a watch. Like if you haven't seen it, and even if you do like feel that this film really is just like totally pointless, not necessary to do, still it is worth a watch. It will not disappoint you. So yeah, go see Toy Story 4 if you haven't yet. So yeah, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. So definitely a really great film. So check it out if you haven't. All right. All right. So yeah, I guess this is all I can really say about it. So I guess those are for my thoughts on Toy Story 4. I did love the movie, and just did not disappoint. All right, so yeah, so I guess that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say about Toy Story 4, and so yeah, and I do have something planned like coming up in a couple of well, yeah, I do have something planned to do who this month, which is going to be coming up. Like I'm going to be talking about. Like I will announce it in a couple of days what I am planning to do for my upcoming videos. So yeah, I'll announce that in a couple of days. So stay tuned for my announcement for what I'm going to be doing. For pretty much like the rest of the month of July. So I do have something planned. So I'm going to be announcing that in a couple of days. So stay tuned for that. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.